girlfriends and boyfriends and everyone else in between. Today I have a brand new video. I've wanted to do reactions to videos for about 3 years now. I don't want to call anyone individually out, but I feel like it's gotten to the point where it needs to happen because
that's all I do on my channel.
That's all you do on your channel. So I'm like, well, Jacqueline is the expert at this, so let me have her in the video. There's been some talk on the SJW side of YouTube about if being a lesbian who's only attracted to women with vaginas in a sexual orientation way. Like, I can be attracted to women who have penises if I didn't know, but then when it gets to sex, it's like, well, I couldn't do it. I would get attracted to other parts of them.
You bigot.
But like, you know, I had a conversation with Jacqueline like an hour ago. You might not be attracted to every single body part of your current partner. You know, like sometimes I don't, like I'm really, it's gonna sound weird, but I'm attracted to people's hands. So we're gonna watch a video from Riley Dennis's girlfriend.
My favorite YouTuber.
Your favorite person in the whole world. I don't want anybody, this is just to be transparent, I don't want anyone to go on their videos hating. That's not what this channel's about. This is just simply about bringing back what I consider to be true feminism and not disguising feminism like sex shaming, because that's basically what they're doing. They're shaming lesbians for enjoying vagina. That shouldn't even be a question.
So today I thought I would discuss the really lighthearted topic of, is not wanting to fuck a trans person transphobic? Also, is not wanting to date someone of a certain race racist?
No.
I was like, who's gonna click the button first?
Alright, okay.
You.
We're done. That was it. Should we answer her question?
We answered the video.
In the first 12 seconds of the video, where that should be the end of the video.
Okay,
no,
but no.
I made a whole video about this actually. I think it was Tyler Oakley, not too long ago, had this whole thing
the
about
racist, but his was more about race.
Right, it was about race. So if you're not like, you know, attracted to a certain race, does that make you racist? And he was arguing that it does. But for example, like one of my very close guy friends is very attracted
Asian women,
to
right?
Asian women.
I remember I saw him. Video.
Yeah, so like, is that racist of him because he's into that?
Right? No, I don't think so. I think people.
So.
I think if you're attracted to somebody and then you find out that they're Asian and you don't date them, that's different.
Right.
That's completely different. That's what racism actually is. The way they look, because most Asian people do tend to have a certain look.
Right.
That's understandable. Just in the same way I don't generally like blondes and short women. I like tall, bigger girls. I don't like skinny girls. Like I don't know what I would do with that.
I am not saying that you have to have sex with any kind of person, okay? You do not have to have sex with a trans person, or a black person, or an Asian person, or a disabled person.
She's starting out the video agreeing with us, basically.
Okay, like that's the standard, right? You shouldn't have to have sex with anyone, right?
Do they realize this is basically like rape culture in a way? Like honestly, like if you don't fuck somebody, it's abuse, is what they're saying.
There's something wrong with
There's something wrong with you.
You're not having sex with somebody else. Like, could you imagine like a dude using that as an argument to a girl? Well, you don't want to have sex with me, what's wrong with you? Like, that in any other context would be horrible.
Allow me to explain. Essentially, this whole thing came up because some lovely cis lesbians were tweeting on the internet.com about how they'll never have sex with a trans person.
I wonder who that cis lesbian is.
Wait, you should explain this. Wait, this is about you, right?
This is literally about me. I made a video with you and Melanie at Buffer Festival.
Oh my god,
this all stemmed from this.
Videos, okay.
And
that was such a cute video.
It was a really cute video. And we discussed, this is all stemming from this, you realize that?
I know, I didn't until you told me earlier.
We made a video, me, you, and Melanie. I was gay, Melanie's bi, and you're straight. And we all talked about how we each knew what sexuality we were. And they asked me, and I said I knew I was gay because I saw a female form, vagina and boobs, and I was attracted to it. When I saw a male form, wasn't attracted to it. And the whole trans community went up in flames telling me that I was transphobic, that I was sexist also, for degrading women and making women just about their body parts. I can't think of the fucking word that they use.
Objectifying?
Yeah, basically that I was objectifying women and making them all about their body parts and not about the actual person. Most of the time, when you figure out your sexuality, it is physically focused. Like, you look at something and you're physically attracted to it, that's sexuality in my opinion. It could be romantically driven, which is why some people are bisexual but not biromantic. Are you gonna tell a bisexual girl who does not want to marry or date a lesbian that she is in some way objectifying women also because she only wants to fuck them? Like, that makes no sense.
Nobody was out there tweeting them being like, yo, FYI, you gotta fuck a trans person.
They were messaging me telling me that I'm a transphobic.
Isn't that kind of what she's saying in this video eventually? Like, she kind of gets to that point?
She says that nobody was messaging me saying that I was transphobic if I didn't want to date a trans person. Yes, a lot of people were messaging me. And people in traditional media as well, which is really unfortunate.
They definitely will not have sex with a trans girl. Thank you so much for clarifying.
To clarify, I never said I wouldn't fuck a trans woman. I said I wouldn't fuck a woman with a penis.
Kind of felt like you couldn't ask why not? Without being accused of lesbian erasure, which to me doesn't really sound like it makes much sense, because why would asking a lesbian why she doesn't want to have sex with a certain kind of woman be lesbian erasure? Unless you don't think trans women are women.
Because trans women are women, but a lot of trans women have penises, and that's not something that most lesbians enjoy. And having to suck a penis, which I've never experienced and never want to, is very different, I'm assuming. You like that. It's very different. Sexuality, at least in my experience, is completely biological and chemical.
What is the word she keeps using? Lesbian a what?
Erasure. Like they're erasing the idea of what lesbianism is. And to me, yeah, you kind of are. Like, before you know what's in somebody's pants, you are attracted to somebody because of their physical appearance, if you don't know them, obviously, just their physical appearance. That can be the way they look, the way they smell, the way they sound, the way they feel. People that are trans women, but are still presenting as male or still have male characteristics, it would be understandable to me as a lesbian why people that like women wouldn't be attracted to a trans woman at that stage. Because yeah, you are still a woman, but you are presenting and you still smell like a man. Your skin might be more rough, you know, your bone structure is different. Everything is different before you transition.
I think it's important to say that even if someone has transitioned, it's still okay to not want to have sex with someone, even if they do present as the gender you are attracted to.
Yeah.
Because, you know, sometimes you want a penis or you want a vagina.
Right.
You know, like, I've had this conversation
And
before.
sometimes you want someone that is physically capable of having children. And no trans person is if they transition.
I feel like there's like a wide array of valid reasons for this type of thing. And I've had this conversation before where someone's asked me, would you date someone who is trans? And, you know, I really don't know. Genuinely, I don't know the answer to that, because, like, for example, if I were dating a guy or I was interested in a guy, and then months down the line after I felt like a connection with this person, I found out that they had a vagina, I don't think that that would be the end of it for me. Like, I think I would try. I would try to see if, like, the sex could work, because I've never tried it, so I don't really know. I don't like the idea, but if I had feelings for this person, I would try. But I don't think even saying that should be some kind of a standard, because there are some people that wouldn't do that wouldn't try, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because everyone's preferences are different.
Yeah, everyone experiences sexuality and figuring out their sexuality in different ways. For me, and for you assumingly, we never had to fuck the same gender or the opposite gender to know that we're straight and gay. There's no right way to figure out your sexuality. It's just how you do it. You just do it and then you figure it out. Like,
do it.
Yeah, you just gotta do it.
This issue isn't applicable to cis lesbians only by any means. A lot of cis people, largely monosexual cis people, are super guilty of this. The discussion then kindly led into why they wouldn't have sex with a black girl either, which, I was kind of just staring at my phone at that point, like, just why I gotta say those things. Many of these reasons simmer down to preferences.
Sexuality isn't a preference. You can't argue.
Is that in quotes?
Yeah, you can't argue and say that gay people don't have a choice to be gay, and then say that at the same time it's a preference.
She is basically saying that sexuality is a choice.
She's saying that you choose who you're attracted to.
To put quotes around it is saying that it's like nonsensical. Like, oh, your preferences. It's like
if you take away penises and vaginas, what about men are you attracted to?
I like just a lot of different things. You know, like
maybe facial hair, or like more hair, or like they smell different.
Yeah.
They smell very different than women. They sound different. Like, everything about males is the opposite of females to me.
It depends. I tend to date more like effeminate men, but they're still men.
They're still men. Like, yeah.
They act differently also in bed. Like, they're more aggressive sometimes, or, you know, they like, you know, sometimes a little scruff is attractive.
Right.
I don't know. There's like a lot of different things, but
if I was a straight girl, I feel like I'd like guys with beards for some reason, which is weird because I hate hair on girls.
Really?
Yeah.
But I find that the preferences argument in a lot of these situations tends to be a really weak as shit excuse for being, oh god, how do I say this? Super transphobic. And just like a little bit racist.
So
she just contradicted what she said at the beginning,
of the video. Like, it's transphobic for me to like licking a vagina instead of sucking a penis. And yes, women can have penises. Somebody that's a lesbian can be attracted to a trans man, because guess what? A lot of trans men are closeted trans men and present as female and present as lesbian still. And I've dated one in the past and I was super attracted to them. I was attracted to that trans man before I knew they were trans. They still looked female. They still were female.
This whole thing just seems so dumb to me.
My problem is
we're like sitting here trying to do the mental gymnastics around what they're even trying to say and trying to respond to it in a way that makes sense. It's just stupid. Like, who cares what your preferences are? You know, it's not like I'm saying they deserve less rights. You know, that is what, in my opinion, being transphobic is, saying
Right.
you don't deserve the same rights. Or homophobic, like you shouldn't be allowed to get married. You know, like that would be a sense of like a certain kind of phobia. But saying I don't want to take off my clothes and have sexual intercourse with someone, the fact that this is even a topic of conversation is kind of blowing my mind. You realize that you're watering down your argument a lot by being offended at stuff like this that should not even be brought up.
Right.
Preferences are things that you prefer.
Did you know that? Preferences are things that you prefer.
But that's why sexuality isn't a preference.
I didn't know that that was the definition of
I've
preferences.
never said my sexuality, I prefer to be with women. No, I'm a lesbian. I will only date women. Like, that's what sexuality is.
Sexist.
Like,
I'm offended. I'm triggered.
Freckles, or a big nose, or small eyes, it doesn't mean I would cancel out somebody because they don't have those things.
Okay, but you can't compare freckles to genitalia. Someone having or not having freckles is not going to at all affect the way that we have sex.
yeah. But it can affect how attracted you are to a person, and that's legitimate too. Somebody might not be as attracted to me because I have small boobs. Someone might not be attracted to me because I have an annoying voice. What the fuck is sexuality if you're not gonna be attracted to certain things over others? There would be no sexuality. Everybody would be attracted to everybody if that's the case. It makes no sense.
But when it comes to trans people, there's often a very hard line.
Penises is a hard line? Andy made that joke. I don't know why I made that joke, but as he made that joke, in my head I was making the same joke.
Drawn just at genitalia or gender expression, it's drawn at trans people. So a gay man might say that he's gay and he loves dick and his sexuality is defined by the fact that he loves penis. Fantastic. Because sexuality is all about sex. A lot of them shout.
Sexuality is all about sex. That's why there's a difference between being asexual and aromantic and bisexual and biromantic. That's why it's called sexuality.
And if you ask if they would, by their own logic, date a trans woman because she has a penis and that's what their sexuality boils down to, the answer is often still no.
Most gay men love dick, but they also love everything else about men. If there's, again, this is too generic to respond to, because if there is a trans woman that is not out and they still present as male, could a gay man be attracted to her? Yes, because they're not transitioned. That's the difference. They're not on hormones. They don't have boobs. Gay men probably, most of the time, don't like those things. I don't know why you would call yourself gay if you do.
Not saying that you can't have preferences. You can prefer to date someone who looks or acts or is a certain way.
She just says you can have preferences, but you can't. But
You can have preferences unless you won't fuck a trans person.
And then you're transphobic. But you
Is he
can have
transphobic?
preferences. It's fine as long as your preferences don't go against what I think your preferences should be.
What makes me more annoyed more than anything about this video is that I get shit for talking for trans people, even though I've never technically talked for trans people, but she's talking for trans people. And she's making them look foolish, in my opinion.
There are lesbians who are being sexually abused by men in the past, and so a penis is very triggering and it's just something that they never want to revisit again, and that's fine.
Do you have to necessarily be sexually assaulted by someone to not want a dick? Is that what she's saying?
That's literally kind of what she's
Like, you have to
yeah.
have some kind of traumatic experience for your sexual preferences to be valid. Oh, I'm sorry, your sexual preferences to be valid. Like,
That's, you said
Did
it,
you
you
hear
nailed
yourself?
it. You pun intended, you nailed it. Like, I can't realize that, like, her argument is basically the same argument a lot of straight men give women that are lesbians. They'll say, you know, who hurt you? That you don't want a dick. Who hurt you?
yeah,
And
she's basically giving validity to those
she's
arguments.
giving validity. Yeah, she is. Yeah.
But the majority of the time, people saying that they don't want to date a trans person aren't dealing with those reasons. They just don't want to fuck a trans person. My discussion on someone who won't date somebody who's disabled is going to be super short because, frankly, I find it quite ridiculous. Because, spoiler, literally anybody can become disabled at literally any point in their lives. If you say that you wouldn't date a disabled person and that you would dump someone you're in love with if they became disabled, then you're just a horrible person. Yes, disability comes with a whole lot of difficulties, but if you're saying that if the love of your life was hit by a bus and could no longer walk, and that's why you're no longer into them, then honestly, they deserve a whole lot better. And here is the insane amount of disclaimer that I know most of the response videos will cut out. You don't have to date a trans person, or a black person, or a disabled person, or an Asian person, or a white person, or literally any kind of person. Before my current relationship, I'd never been with a trans person, and that's because truthfully, I just didn't know that many, and the ones that I did know, I just wasn't into.
But it's okay to be attracted to certain parts of a trans person before they're fully transitioned, and not be attracted to certain parts of a trans person before they're fully transitioned. This is the difference for most people on why they wouldn't want to date a trans person, and it doesn't have nothing to do with their being trans. It has to do with where they're at in their transition. She's being very vague about this, which is the problem.
And right before that, she's like, everyone's gonna cut this part out. You can date whoever you want. That's defeating the purpose of her whole video.
Of the whole video.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, you can totally date whoever you want, but I'm gonna say that you're a bigot if your values don't align with mine.
Right.
So yeah, you can do whatever you want, but it's just messed up of you and you're a horrible person.
The reason I wanted to post this video, A, because this has been going on with me in the trans community. These types of trans people, not the trans community in general. Most of you that watch me that are trans are absolutely
this type
wonderful.
of video is an extreme example.
This is the extremist side of the trans community, and I want people that are watching this that aren't trans to know that this is a very extreme version of these type of people, and most trans people are really cool. The ones that I know are really good friends of mine.
I don't know
amazing.
anybody who thinks like this.
No, I don't know any, but it's a shame that these people get the most attention, and I don't want the trans community to have a worse reputation than they already do, because these are the types of people that are highlighted, which is a shame. And I've gotten messages recently from a lot of my viewers that are a little bit younger, maybe under the age of 16, that are now afraid to be called transphobic for not wanting to date trans people, because it depends on like where they are in their situation, how the other person identifies, what they want to do, how they have sex, whatever. It's not okay to sexually shame someone for their attractions and present it as, you know, transgender activism.
Like people who are legitimately transphobic.
Right.
Like saying that I don't want to have sex with somebody is not saying I don't think that person is equal to me and deserves equal rights.
Yeah, again, go and check out Jacqueline's channel. We've done plenty of videos in the past. And
yeah, we have.
I love her response videos pretty much to anyone that I disagree with. We pretty much agree with every single thing, which is why we're probably friends. I will see you guys back here in a few days with a brand new video. Until then, I love you.
Bye.
Bye.